Hi, Vigneshwaran here to discuss about the file system management, which is the foremost important concept of operating system, both in the system perspectives as well as also the user's perspectives. Because we are using the computer or the system or any device to store our own data or to store some data and to process the respective data. So to process the respective data, we are having the process management systems. The operating system is facilitating it for execution of the particular instructions with the help of the processors, and where exactly the particular data is going to be stored and how the retrieval will be happen, that is going to be done with the help of a memory management schemes, where we have discussed about the various memory management schemes like fixed allocation and dynamic allocation, paging and segmentations, all these things. In now this file system in the secondary storage devices, how the data are to be organized, whether it is having any structures or it follows any hierarchical level to access the data, and what way it is going to be stored in the secondary storage devices. So all these things we are going to discuss in this file system management concepts. And even to understand how the various users are accessing the particular files or records or a database which is stored in the secondary storage device. Do we have any access control mechanisms there, like any privileges are there for different types of users? As the familiar with Windows and Linux operating systems, we have a normal users and we have administrators in this case, and how that particular privileges are defined and what are the way they are going to access the particular, retrieve the particular files, that all these things we are going to discuss in this file management schemes. So the entire file management schemes, we are going to discuss all these concepts: the file overview, file organization and access, file directories, file sharing, record blocking, secondary storage management, file system security, and Unix file system management, Linux virtual file system management, and Windows file system management. Now especially in this presentation we are going to I am going to talk about only the file system overview, so it gives you the better understanding of the file system with respect to the operating systems. In later my presentation I have included that what is the file system or file system hierarchy, a Linux operating system and Windows operating system, it follows. Let me move on to the slide. And now what do you mean by files and file systems? Now this is very important part of the operating system, that is called as a file system. So it provides the resource abstractions that is especially associated with the secondary storage devices. So with the help of files and file systems, any users can able to create data collections that is called as a files with the desirable properties. So every file should have some properties, like what is the size of the file, whether it is a variable or whether it is a fixed length, all these things. So the desirable properties are: one is long-term existence, second one is shareable between the processes, and what is a structure. Let me go on one by one. The long-term existence. So the long-term existence is where the particular files are stored, whether it is in the disk or the secondary devices, because when we are any user, when we are logging off, it should not disappear from the from our system. So where we want to store, that is the one major desirable property. And second is shareable resources, whether we want to create that particular file as a shareable file, that is a shareable resources or a shareable data among the processes, so that we need to create the various privileges for different processes to access the particular data without affecting other processes. The third one is the third desirable properties are structures. It depends upon the file system. So the structure it purely depends upon the particular file system to make the use of the convenient use for the particular applications. So every application, it does not follow the different internal structures. It depends upon the file systems only. Usually the files are organized into the hierarchical manner, and even more the complex structures to define the relationship among the particular files. So in general way, we can talk about the structure. It reflects the relationships among the files. So a file system, it not only stores the data, and it also used to perform certain functions based on the particular files. Though those functions are, one is to create a file within the structure, and delete, remove particular file, open the existing file which is already available, and close the particular file, read and write. These are the various operations we are going to perform in the file. So our permission, the privileges for the different users can be a read permission or a write permission. And every file system, it also having a set of attributes which will be like who is the owner of the particular file, and when it is created, and what is the last time modified, and what are the privileges that user is having, whether they are having a read, write, execution. In general way, we have three different privileges for different users. One is a read permission, a write permission, and finally a execute permissions. So all these things are defined in the way which is called as a attributes. So every file is associated with the set of attributes. Next, a file structure. There are the four common way to discuss a particular file. That is, the files are evolved in such a manner that first it is a field, next is a record, next is a file, and the database. What is a field? Field, take an example of an Excel sheet. In an Excel sheet, the one column value is called as a field. A record, more than one field combined together, that is called as a record. It is a record. And more than one similar data items, similar records are collected, that is called as a file. And database, it is a collection of files. I move on to the field. A field is a basic element of a data. There is some values associated in the particular field. Then it have some length, and it should have a data type. The length is maybe a fixed length, and the variable length, it depends upon the applications. It consists of two or more subfields. One, the actual value to be stored, that is actual value, and next is what is the name of the field and what is the length of the field. Usually all these things are associated with that field itself. So the length of the field is indicated by the use of the special democratization symbol, especially in the variable length fields. Next is record. A record is a collection of related fields. Depending on the design, the records may be vary a fixed length and as well as also the variable length. For example, an employee record, we have a various fields are there. One is the name of the employee, and then their social security number, job classifications, date of hire, date of birth, and so on. All these things, individual elements are called as a fields, and all these similar fields are combined together, it forms the records. And file. A file is a collection of similar records. This is the hierarchy we are going to follow this. And the file is treated as a single entity. Here the file is treated as a single entity, and which is referenced by the name. So every file it should have a name. So that's why it is easy for us to access the particular file. And the various operations we can perform on the file is, one is a created, and we can delete the particular files. And when we talk about the files, obviously we have a more than so many number of types of users are there. So we have to define the access control, that is where is the privileges to access the particular files based on the file levels. In a SAD, especially in a SAD systems, maybe the files are, whether it is a granted for accessing the particular file or denied to access the particular files. Okay, then the database. So the database is a collection of related data, that is a files, we may say it is called as a files. So it defines the relationship that exists among the elements of data. That is a major way the database is created, that are in an explicit way that it going to define the relationships. So all the information related to the organization or a project is combined together, that is called as a database. So it have one or more files. To maintain a database, we have a separate database management system which is available. So every operating system which is independent of that operating system for utilizing the database management systems. But although some systems are making use of the common file management programs. So the various operations on the database are retrieve all the content, which is all the fields or all the files, retrieve on the specific file one file, retrieve on the next file, retrieve on the previous file, insert one data, delete one data, update one data, and retrieve few files. These are the possible operations are associated with the database. And these are further explanations of the each and every operations. Retrieve all, retrieve one, retrieve next, retrieve previous, insert one, delete one, update one, retrieve few. These are some variety of operations that we can able to perform in the database. And the file is organized in such a way that it is based on the nature of operations which influence the way in which the file is organized. So it should have some sort of a structures. The file system, it should have some sort of structures. On Unix and Unix-like systems, the basic file structure is just a stream of bytes. So next is file management systems. Here we are going to use the that is called as a file management system is a set of system software. It provides the services, that is access to the users and applications. It going to perform certain operations or services for the users as well as also the applications. So the necessity of developing special purpose software for each application, if we are maintaining the common file management system, it is not necessary to develop a specific purpose of a specific software to maintain the file systems. So in this way the particular programmer can be utilize the common systems to access the specific data, because it maintains the consistent and well defined means of controlling for maintaining the data, because the data is the important asset of any type of organizations and any level of organization. So the main objective is there are few objectives of the file management systems. One is to meet the data management needs and requirements of the users, obviously, and to guarantee to the extent possible that the data in the file are valid. So that we are going to give only the valid information, and with respect to the system point of view and user point of view, we need to optimize the performance. One of the major objective is to optimize the performance in terms of the response time and throughput, and to provide I/O support for a variety of storage devices, and to minimize or eliminate the potential for lost or destroyed data, to provide a standardized state of I/O interface routines to user processes, to provide I/O support for multiple users in case of multi-user systems. So these are the major objectives of any file systems. And the minimum requirements, especially in the interactive system, is each user can able to create, delete, write, read and modify the files. So we have to define certain operations to the each and every users. The operations may be, the functions may be create, delete, read, write and modify the files. So each user may have controlled access to other user files. Though that's why it is, since it is an interactive systems, so we need to create the access privileges, access control list for the various users to define the data consistency due to the interactive systems. So each user may control what type of access are allowed to the user's file. Each user should be able to restructure the user's files in a form appropriate to the problem. Each user should be able to move data between files. Each user should be able to back up and recover the user's file in case of any damages. That is a foremost important requirement, because this data consistency is very, very important and availability is very, very important for any level of organizations. Each user should be able to access his or her file by name rather than by the numeric number, because to keep in mind of every file it have a number as per the user's perspective, and as per the system's perspective, every file is associated with the identifier that is called as a file descriptor value. So if we have a file descriptor value, obviously we cannot able to remember, as a human cannot able to remember all the file descriptor values, because it combination of the numbers. It is a numeric identifier. So to make easy for the users, all the files are named. Next, the file system architecture. So the figure shows the typical architecture of the file system organization. It have various levels. The lower level, it is a device drivers. See in this diagram, the lower layer is a device driver, both in a disk and tape, a primary memory and secondary memory, and basic file system, and basic I/O supervisor, and logical I/O, and the various different structures of the files and user programs. When the user program is accessing the particular file, so this entire architecture, the various level, facilitates the user to access the particular file in a easy way. So the lowest level is called as a device driver. It communicates directly to the peripheral devices or the controller or the channels to access the particular files. So the device driver is responsible for starting the I/O operations on a device and the completion of the I/O request. For file operations, the disk files are controlled by various disk and tape drives, and this device driver is one of the major part of the operating system. So whenever if you want to access any files or any devices, we need to install the device driver, then only it is possible to access the particular files. Since each and every device is following its own system hierarchical level, so we need to make it into the uniform platform, so that the file system is facilitating us to retrieve or access our own data without having any complicated way. So the next level is called as a basic file, or otherwise called as a physical I/O. Now this is act as an interface between the outside environment and as well as also the computer systems. We may say that it acts as an interface between the user and as well as also the operating systems to access the particular files. So here everything deals only with the form of blocks of data, that is a block of data that is going to be exchanged in the disk or the tape systems, that is a primary memory or a secondary memory. So once if we are talking about the block of a data, so it is more concerned about where I want to particularly store the data, that is the placement of the blocks in the on the secondary storage, that is on a major constraint, and whether the buffer is required for this accessing the data in the main memory, that is also very important concern with respect to the basic file systems, because it deals about the block of data. So it doesn't understand the content of the data or the structure of the files involved. And the next level, upper level, is the basic IO supervisor is responsible for all file IO initiation and termination. That is, a request initiation and terminations will be handled by the IO controller, that is called as a, we can say it is a IO supervisor. So with the help of that, we can able to perform all the IO operations, and we can get to know the scheduling details and also the file status. And this IO supervisor, it also select the devices to perform the particular IO operations based on the particular file selected. So it also concerned about the disk scheduling to perform or to optimize the performance of the systems. It also handles the IO buffers for storing the data into the secondary memory. So this is also the part of the operating system, that is a basic IO supervisor is also the part of the operating system. And then the next component is a logical IO. This enables the users and applications to access the particular record. So it deals with the block of data, that is a logical IO module deals with the file records. So it maintains a general purpose record and the basic data about the particular files. So it also having the various access methods to access the particular files. So the user is directly give the request to the logical IO to access the particular blocks. So it provides a standard interface between applications and the file systems and the devices that hold the data and the file management functions. So this there are the various elements are associated in the file management functions. From this diagram, it easily to understand the various components which is involved in the file management functions. If we take it, we will go through our entire presentation from the left side of this diagram to the right side of this diagram. That is, we move on from the left side to the right side. So first, the user wants to access certain operations on the particular file structures. Either they want to create the file, or either they want to read or write, or they want to delete the particular files. So the every file is supposed to after issuing the commands, the operating system or the file system, it has to identify in which location the particular file is stored. So we need to identify the location of the particular selected files also. So in this case, that is also very important in the file structure, one of the input of the file structures. And there are so many, especially in the SAD file system, where there are so many access control are there. So before moving on to the accessing the respective file, we need to check whether the user is having the respective access or not. So then the directory that serves to describe the location of all the files plus their attributes, that is their access user privileges and other things. So the basic operation that a user or application may perform on a file is performed at the record level. So they are going to perform in the record level so that it automatically updated into the files. So the user or application views the file as having some structure that organizes the records. It is in the sequential order. So the structure of the record is a sequential order, that is from A to Z. So the major aim of the file structure is to translate the user commands into the specific IO file management commands to access the specific files appropriate to the particular commands. As user and applications, we are very concerned with the records and fields, and I/O is done on a block basis. That is, I/O operation is going to be performed on a block basis. So in that case, the secondary storage device must be managed. So we need to identify where the particular files are allocated and what are the free blocks are available in later stages, in near future. If we know the free blocks, then we can easily store the new files, and individual block I/O requests must be scheduled to optimize the performance of the file systems or the entire files. So the optimization will be depends upon the structure of the file and the various access patterns, but we are developing an optimum file system from the point of view of performance is very complicated task. That figure, it suggests a division between what might be considered the concern of the file management system as a separate system utility and the concern of the operating systems. So it defines both the concerns with respect to the file management as a separate entity and the operating systems also. Next, there is a file system hierarchy which is following in the Linux operating system. So the Linux, it uses the hierarchical file systems. It is called as a virtual file systems. So this is called as a root directory. So from this root directory, that all other rest of the directories are located: bin, boot, dev, device related, etc, proc, temporary, tmp, opt, mount, media, user. So all the various this is the Linux file system hierarchy, and likewise this is a Windows file system hierarchy. I hope with this you are familiar with the basic overview of files and file system and its architectures and various operations, and how we are going to maintain and what are the various levels in these architectures for general purpose applications. Thank you.